This is Justin Baines. This is my Key Leadership Actions video for Organization 480. All right, so when I was doing the simulation, I hit enter a little bit quickly and didn't get to quite finish it. That's okay though, because I got to tailor my 10 leadership actions a little bit closer to what I am addressing in my portfolio project. Would be this reorg that my company's going through and the hiccups in communication that we are in the midst of. So for my very first key action, I have developed a communication plan and communicate empathy to all our stakeholders. So when I think of my reorg, I think of how we have all these various functions under our umbrella, which is the CCMO group and VP of sales. And each stakeholder, each stovepipe, as you call it, can be a different stakeholder. So we need to develop a communication plan that will address all our stakeholders or independently in the way they need to be addressed, because everyone's being affected by our reorg differently. The empathy shows people that we care, which drives into my next key action, which is create a 360-degree communication chain for all our employees. This allows us to get feedback from them so that we can better adjust our communication and the steps we are taking, right? And it also allows us to give all the relevant information they need so that they can stay engaged. And that's part of this key action for me, right, is drive engagement. I think that if you look at my references, Liu Song, Zhang et al., communicating helps drive engagement. That's also reinforced by Clayton, and there's a few other people on there that just all say that communication keeps engagement up during a time of change. So it'll be important to allow them to have some of that bottom-up feedback to improve this reorganization. The next thing I have is develop a change team and plan for action to overcome said roadblocks is what I wrote down. But the change team is going to be important. I think identifying potential roadblocks and then plans on how to get around them, collecting the feedback from the previous action item allows us to address these situations as they come and be adaptable, right? And adaptable is one of the most important things during change. And that's another thing in my references. I think it was Brandantu that said that, but there's, once again, more and more again, even in the Harvard Business Review, we can see that being adaptable is going to be very important during times of change. So change team, that's going to help us, and it's going to take some of the pressure off of our current VP and allow her to be in front of the people more often. The next thing I like is an email. This is still around communication, but we should provide an email where people can ask questions and express concerns and get more information. My company just did this. I would say it's a couple months too late, but some of these concerns, since I've recently been put in charge of communication, too late. And it's nice though, because people are just not sure, right? A lot of the questions that I'm having to respond to are about people not being sure. What that tells me is that we have to communicate better so that they can be more certain. And it isn't just from the people in charge of communication, right? It's from all the managers. So there's a missing link in there. So this company hotline has given us more of that feedback and allowed us to understand where we can address situations better. I have my next key leadership action is continue to grab more facts and resolve issues, right? Focus groups falls under that. Surveys. I know it's just more communication. It just stands to say how important communication is during crisis, right? And so getting these focus groups in action and these surveys with honest feedback, you always have a certain amount of people that are just going to be not give valid feedback. But if you pick through feedback and you can see a tone, you know what action you have to take. And that's why closer to the beginning and throughout any crisis, communication, focus groups, and surveys can make such a big difference. So in my next key leadership action, this one is number 6. And for the episode, I put shift our marketing campaign to start repairing our brand. Now, that was a hard one for me to select to even type out on that, because I was like, can you even do that in an amount of time? I mean, I work in marketing, right? And that's a fast turn. But I think sometimes when customers want something, it's possible. For my organizational issue, I just think that if we look at the executive leadership team as the provider and our entire organization as our customers, we have some brand repairing to do. And so, shift our marketing campaign to start repairing our brand means shift our communications and the knowledge we send to start rebuilding that trust that we've probably failed some of them. People are feeling stressed. People don't have jobs. We've had people quit, right? We have to repair our trust and our brand with our customers. And in this case, the customers are our very own employees. For the number 7, I have identify every stakeholder and designate teams to work closely with each one of them and provide them relevant information. So this was one that I was thinking for the episode, but it takes place in this too, because just the other day I realized that we have a new group called the CCBSO group. And they actually are stakeholders of ours because we interact, right? It's like a matrix management situation. So knowing that ahead of time could have equipped me a little better with more information on what I can provide to them in terms of how they interact with some of our new functions. So while this should be moved up in the process, I don't think that my 1 through 10 is in any order yet. It would take more time to order them out, but knowing the stakeholders that are important, I think, is something that maybe we could fix in our organization. Because if I didn't know, I have to imagine there's more people that didn't know. The next one I have is explain why there's communication failures in our organization. What I wrote down is explain the situation to the stakeholders with a specific team and work to amend our relationships, right? Once again, it's back to communication, and it shows how important communication is. But we need to get with each group, right? Right now, the big disparity is between our account management group and our field sales group. The account management is gone, and field sales is merged with them. So account management group is feeling very stressed because we took their titles away. But the field sales group is feeling stressed because they don't know what they're doing next. So I think that, and those are just 2 of our stakeholders. This happened across more functions in our organization, but we need to start communicating in various waves down the chain. And I think it works in both ways, right? In the episode, we just need to get with our employees, our customers, our B2B customers, our transportation people, let everybody know what steps we're going to take, what's happening, and what steps we're going to take to fix this situation and come out on top. The next thing I have is begin the education and training on future state. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have had these communication flops. We wouldn't have been rushed into launching our reorg, and we would have already had trainings and information available. This isn't a perfect world, much like in our scenario, it wasn't a perfect situation. I say that because while our scenario should probably begin, after establishing an action plan, which was one of my previous key actions, on how not to have this happen again, they should begin teaching their people how to do that, right? In my organization, we've developed an action plan on how to get through this communication problem. Let's begin training our upper management people to have this communication and be thorough and empathetic, or at least empower them with information to share with their team so people don't feel lost, and then start training on the future state of our sales organization. So that was number 9. For number 10, we just need to be transparent, reliable, and accountable. Be upfront about our faults, lay out actions to overcome those faults, and make sure we follow through with our commitments. I think if we can execute those 3 main things, along with those others, that we would have a much better sentiment from our customers, which in our case is our employees. Same thing with our scenario. By being transparent, accountable, and reliable moving forward, having that follow through, our company is going to be able to start doing their meatless burgers again in no time, right? So that's how I feel about these 10 actions. I think that I'm going to continue to build on them and improve them, because this actually is something that I'm going to put into practice at work and that I'm trying to overcome. I will reread the 10 for you, just so you know. So develop a communication plan and communicate empathy to all our stakeholders, create a 360-degree feedback and communication chain so that we can improve our processes, right? Develop a change team and a plan for action to overcome any roadblocks. Provide a company email so that people can ask us questions, which helps them feel more appreciated and gives us more of that valuable feedback. Continue to gather more facts so that we can resolve this issue. Shift our marketing campaign to repairing our brand, or in my case, just start building trust with our customers. Identify our stakeholders and work closely with them. Explain the situation to them so that they know how to move forward. Begin our education and training, and then be reliable, accountable, and transparent in everything we do moving forward to maintain that trust that we're working on rebuilding. Thank you.